What sells an expensive vehicle? Is it power? Is it luxury? Is it status? Of course, all those things do count, but one of the most important things is bragging rights. For instance, how many people can say, I drive the world's fastest SUV? Well, if you drive one of these, you certainly can say that. This is the new Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT, and this is currently the world's fastest SUV. And trust me, I spent the last few days in this car, and when I say it's hella fast, it's hella fast. So visually, what sets this Cayenne apart from others? Well, you've got a carbon fiber roof, larger air intakes, you've got a larger front splitter, and you've got carbon fiber wing mirrors. And last but certainly not least, you've got lovely 22-inch alloy wheels finished off in gold and wrapped in Pirelli P0 courses. I must say, they look nice. They look very, very, very good. The rear of the Turbo GT is just as pretty, if not prettier, than the front in my opinion. In fact, this is the part of the car that you're going to see the most of. Differentiating factors on this vehicle, you can see that there is a carbon fiber rear spoiler, we've got a little lip, and we've got a rear diffuser. By the rear diffuser lies some very important bits about this vehicle. The centralized titanium exhausts. And when I tell you that these exhausts in sport mode, you'll hear the car. You'll hear the car. I can't even explain to you. You'll just hear what this car sounds like. On the inside, the Turbo GT is very similar to the Cayenne Coupe Turbo that this car is based on. The only difference being the fact that Alcantara is the theme of the day. As you can see, you've got Alcantara on the dashboard, you've got Alcantara on the roof, you've got Alcantara on the middle center console, you've got Alcantara on the gear lever, pretty much Alcantara everywhere, except for where I would have really wanted Alcantara, which is right here on the steering wheel. The only other difference that I picked up was that on your drive mode selector, you've got the sport response button, which is finished off in red, and it just makes the car that much more serious. Each time you press it, you feel like a superhero inducing some nitrous oxide mode, but it's not really nitrous oxide, it just makes you feel cool. Overall, the interior is very cool and race inspired. Oh, and you have Turbo GT written in strategic places, just to remind you that your car is cooler than everyone else's. Our friends at Porsche are quite a competitive bunch. The reason why I say that is because about last year, there was a certain vehicle that was claimed to be the fastest SUV on the planet, and how they did that was by getting a phenomenal time on the Nürburgring. But very quickly, Porsche turned around and said, no, my friend, we are not going to allow that to happen. And out came a camouflage black Porsche, and after that, their camouflage black Porsche did the fastest lap time. And then lo and behold, here we are today, and they call that car the Cayenne Turbo GT. And this is currently the fastest car around the Nürburgring in its class, and it's also the fastest SUV. But who knows, tomorrow there could be another winner, but for now, this is the fastest. What makes it the fastest? Well, if you take a normal standard Cayenne Coupe Turbo and you add a bit more power to give it 471 kilowatts and 850 Newton meters, you now have yourself an SUV that can do 0 to 100 in 3.1 seconds. But you know what's the most phenomenal thing? Is not the way this vehicle accelerates, but rather how it feels each time you turn the wheel. It's actually scary how fast this front end is on this Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT. It literally feels like you're driving a slightly higher 911. This vehicle is now 17 millimeters lower. It uses a torque vectoring system, and as a result, you've got yourself a Cayenne that can literally live on a racetrack. Now, obviously, if you're going to accelerate quite quickly, you need to be able to decelerate just as fast. And it's amazing when you've got carbon ceramics, the vehicle can stop at an absolute dime. Now, all of this is not cheap. It's going to cost you 3.3 million rand. But what 3.3 million rand gives you is that it gives you two cars in one. Because normally what used to happen is that you'd have a family vehicle that you would use to go on holiday, take the kids to school, buy groceries, do everything. But now you've got your sports car and your family car in one. So to me, I think from that perspective, this Turbo GT works. But for other people, they might think that it's a bit pointless to have all this performance in an SUV. Each to his own when it comes to what consumers want. But wow, this is a technical marvel.